Welcome to my show, honey. Welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. When you're feeling blue, you don't know what to do. Carrying such a heavy load, honey, feels like you're all alone. You need a new recipe, well, I'm the one to see. Friday rolls along, you wanna hear my song, so welcome to my show. Welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. My show is so hot, honey. The vegan meat, the gluten-free, the dairy-free. Oh.
Hey, what's going on? It's Soraya's Surpada with Soraya's Fierce Cooking Show, and now with Soraya's Fierce Van Life. So, welcome to my show. Welcome to another segment of my van life documentation. It's a little over 3 months. October 28th was the first day that I entered van life. Today is February 2nd, so January 28th made it 3 months. So I'm really glad that I've survived this far, and I really mean that because it's been really cold. It's New York City, it's winter. We've had some days that were really cold, but I really researched a lot before entering van life. I mean, I didn't have a set date. Circumstances, if you've watched my other videos, kind of tell the story a bit of what happened. A roommate share kind of ended abruptly, and then a position that I had that I was working full time ended pretty much about the same time. You know, first it was the roommate share ended in late October, and I wasn't going to go rushing around looking for another roommate share, and then the job ended a month after that. November 26th, sorry, October 28th, November 26th. Two major shifts. It was just time to try van life. You know, my friends were like, "You're gonna do this now?" And I'm like, it's like an Elvis Presley song. It's like now or never, you know. So I've done some research, was doing research prior, so I use a hot water bottle, some wool socks, some little wool booties, my sleeping bag, my propane setup, which is, I've stated it before, which is a Coleman Silver Coleman oven and 1 pound propane tanks, which now that it's 3 months and I've been tracking my expenses, which I try to do most times, but I really wanted to track expenses of van life, because really another goal, besides being off grid and having a little bit more control, right, relieving myself of several dependencies, I find as an individual I have a hard time depending on things and people. I really don't like depending on people and things too much. Something I'm working on. So van life to me was a way of, you know, I gotta depend on the gym, I gotta depend on the public bathrooms, I gotta depend on other things, you know, I gotta depend on something and someone all the time, but I didn't want to depend on being on grid. You know, God forbid a major emergency happens that I can't live in my home anymore. What am I going to do? You know, I remember when Hurricane Sandy occurred here in New York some years ago, and I had my co-op on the 5th floor. I remember like those winds and the rain and the storm was so strong. And I was frightened, actually. I was on the phone with a friend who also lives alone, who was also frightened. And we were like, "Oh my God, do you hear that wind?" You know, it was kind of freaky. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, how about if my apartment building would have gotten damaged to the point where I had to move all of a sudden? Like, where would I go? Like, how would I manage living outdoors? How would I imagine living off-grid? How would I imagine living in cold weather? You know, how would I function? Van life would give me some sort of knowledge on emergency preparedness, that if something happened, I could deal with the cold, I could deal with sleeping in a sleeping bag, I could deal with maybe, you know, not these creature comforts that I've gotten so accustomed to, which is living in an apartment, and I've taken electricity and heat for granted. You grow up in an apartment, in a home, you don't deal with elements unless you're hiking and camping and all of that. And again, when I was in California, there was that hiking lifestyle, there was that outdoor cooking lifestyle, there was the outdoor cooking. I did all my healthy vegan Puerto Rican cooking off-grid, outside. And that's what really clicked for me, was like, there is a way to live off-grid. And I just found like cooking with propane, which in the beginning I was so afraid of propane, that once I started cooking with it, and now I'm using propane in the van. I mean, I do have a Max Air fan, and I crack my window, so I open the vent, I run the air in, so the hot warm air is getting pushed down to me, and then I crack the windows in the front a little bit. I do what I can to use propane safely, and I have a carbon monoxide detector. But you know, my experiences and outdoor cooking kind of led to the fact, like, yeah, it could be done. And when the apartment thing happened, I guess there was some anger and resentment there, and I was like, F that, I'm never gonna have roommates again. I don't care, I don't want to depend on anybody. I'll get my van and me and Reema will conquer the world as a healthy Latin cooking chef. So, you know, I know I have my character defects, but I have to say though, tracking my expenses, my propane expense has been totally, like, almost $300 last month, like $255, $275 in propane, and I've been having a really hard time disposing of those metal canisters. Like, I feel like that's like so effed up for the environment. So I'm looking into getting like a 5-pound tank that I could refill, which I'm finding out here in the neighborhood in Queens, since camping and outdoor life is, I don't know, it's not that common out here. It's going to be kind of challenging to find a place that will refill a 5-pound tank. I'm not comfortable with a 10 or 20-pound tank in the van. 5-pound I can handle. And I want to thank the gentleman from RV Cheap Living. You know, I saw his 5-tanker and I was like, yeah, that I could fit in my van and I can live with that. Before I buy a tank, I want to make sure I can refill it. Locally, I may have to go out in Long Island where my sister lives, because it seems to be like maybe more people camping. I don't know, but I gotta find a place. It's just like crazy. But these are all the cute little intricacies and the details and the finding out isms about van life. So these are the things I'm working out. I was with some good friends yesterday where I told them I want to give myself a year of living van life to see if this is something I really would like to do long term, because I don't know if it's anger and resentment about gentrification or just the cost of living is going up all over the nation, that I feel like there's a little bit more control maybe, and having a van and having it hooked up the way I want to have it hooked up. And I'm a single person. I don't really do relationships a lot. You know, I'm single and I'm happy single, and I'm happy living the life that I live. And if I meet someone to date again and have a relationship again, you know, of course I'm open. But I don't need a lot of space is what I'm trying to say, and I don't need a lot of things. I've seen some vans with some cute little kitchen setups, and those factors of like the kitchen setup are the really important factors for me. So I've seen some single women with their vans and they got a cute little stove and oven, a little kitchen hookup, so adorable, and I'm like, I could live with that, you know, it's me. The only thing is some points about this life that's not good for me at this particular time, but again, I know I'm learning, is that I'm transgender. That doesn't have much to do with what I'm going to say, but I like being a little prettier than usual, and I know it's winter too, but I find myself being kind of like with athletic clothing, and where, you know, maybe I want to style, you know, with some heels and some nice little dresses or blouses. And living in the van, I can't have all my clothes, and going back and forth to storage, it's a lot of work to try to look a little bit more feminine, let's say. So there's a lot of walking back and forth. I park my car and I don't drive it everywhere. So if I go to the gym, I don't drive there. I walk to the gym. I'm living in Queens in my van, but a lot of my activities, and they're in the city, and there's some volunteer work that I do in Queens. So, you know, I do a lot of walking. So it's a lot of back and forth, go to the gym, take a shower, come back, drop off my clothes, go to the laundromat, go to the supermarket, go get propane, like I said, go do my volunteer. I'm not working full time, I'm looking for work. So if anyone's interested in having a private chef come to their home and cook like a week or a month or a couple of weeks of meals for you and food, I could do that, right? Vegan Puerto Rican cooking. Check out my Yelp page and my YouTube, my website, sorayasforbadah.com, Soraya's Fierce Kitchen. I was on Chopped, Food Network, New York Times, Daily News, so I've done some stuff, and I feel I cook pretty good. When I was in California, people loved my vegan, gluten-free empanadas. They love them here in New York too, but I introduced them and came up with the recipe for that in California. My vegan pasteles, my vegan habichuela guisada, my vegan arroz gandules, mofongo, my pastelón I make vegan. So anyway, but van life. van life. And speaking of all those foods, because I do have the Max Air fan, I have been cooking more in the van. So that's really, really cool. I've been making this really good black bean and kasha with green bean dish with spicy beef crumbles that I make that is seasoned very Latin, very Puerto Rican. It's delicious. Been eating that a lot. And I just had some kabuka squash for lunch with some Morningstar Farms vegetarian breakfast sausages, Walden Farms sugar-free pancake syrup, and some vegan butter. It was amazing, and some orange juice. Oh, I'm in heaven. So I'm all pumped coming to you with this video. So I'm going to say that van life is not easy. I get a little depressed at times because I'm questioning whether because my job at Yelp didn't work out. I was misgendered a lot there. It was a very painful experience. I got misgendered so much I was so distracted and so saddened. And then misgendered on the phone, and misgendered more so by fellow employees. And it wasn't what I was hoping it would have been for me, and I wanted it to work out, but it didn't work out. You know, I wonder if I'm punishing myself by living in the freaking cold in New York without any insulation. So I don't know if these parts are going to stay in the video, but you know, I had a question like what my motives, like why was I embarking on van life now? And honestly, I have to just be honest that I like having control of my life, and I'm pretty tough-skinned. I can really deal with pain and discomfort pretty well. So I'm handling van life, and I want to make it through the winter. I want to give it a year. And then if that works out again, I would love to have a bigger van, a little longer, a little higher that I could stand up, have my cute little kitchen, be able to do my DJing, practice, you know, my little music thing, and do my video editing with my cooking show and all of that, and actually do some more cooking out of the van. It would be great if I could make my empanadas from the van, do all my recipes out of the van. I'm sure I could do it now. It's kind of a small hookup, but speaking of hookups, I'm interested in putting some Renogy solar panels to 100 watts. I have my goal, Zero Yeti 1000. I don't know if you guys could see, yeah, but I have my Rock Power. I use this a lot for powering the Max Air and for my phone and batteries, like right now, to charge up my camera. And then I just got in the Amazon delivery of the Wave 3 Camco Olympian heater. I've been using the Coleman oven and stove. I can go through 3 canisters of propane through the night. And like I said, propane last month for January was almost $300. So my storage fee is $255. And then my propane usage or costs were comparable, like close to what I was paying for storage. Car insurance is like $100 a month. Gas is like $40. The van is paid for. I have a 2011 Ford Transit. You've seen pictures maybe. I'll put pictures up. Well, there it is. Yeah, there it is right there. There's the van. You know, I want to keep my costs down. And then those disposables all the time just are not good for the environment. So I'm hoping I can find a place in the area that could refill a 5-pound tank. Okay. What else could I say about van life? I find myself being quite stationary once I find a good spot, and this is the spot. I really like it. It's by a car dealership and a business, and so there's no residential near me, so I'm not feeling like I'm infringing or having to be so on the DL. I think people here, these businesses know that I'm in here a lot. I made friends with I should give them props. Picnic, kitchen, bathrooms, extensions, and basements. Licensed and insured. His phone number is 917-613-3370. So if you're in Queens and you need kitchens, bathrooms, extensions, and basements, any kind of work in that area, he can help you. I'm giving him props because he also parks on this street. Like, him and I are like brother and sister. He's the brother, I'm the sister. And I got to meet him this week because he kind of got mad at me because I parked my car really close to his van. He had room, he's in the front, he could just zoom out. But he was like, why the fuck did they parked their van so close, and I'm in the van, so I heard it. So, you know, I grabbed my keys and I went out and I said, listen, if you'd like, I'll, you know, move my van back or whatever, you know, I'm sorry, you know, but you could drive forward and get out, you know, I'm in between you and somebody else. So he's like, oh, I didn't know you were in the car, I'm so sorry, that's, you know, I'm not like, you know, please, I feel embarrassed. I'm like, don't be embarrassed, it's okay, you know, it's okay. He goes, that's not me, you know, he goes, no, leave your car there, it's fine. So he's always parked on this block, and then he'll take his van, move his commercial van out, put like his regular personal van, you know, he's always trying to secure his spot. So I've gotten very attached to this spot too. And that I don't like much, because I really need to go back and forth into storage to like get rid of things and donate them, and I'm like, because of the fear of losing the parking spot that I really, really like, I don't move the car that often, just like once a week, you know, which there's a lot that I need to do with my storage stuff, you know, I'm minimalizing a lot, and I'm like kind of procrastinating a bit because I don't want to move the van. So there's an Amazon van that's backing up right now, which I hope when I'm ready to buy a van, I can get one of their used vans, because there's a ton of them in the roads here. But yeah, their vans are longer, of course, and higher. Like what is it? The Dodge Ram Master, the other Ford Transits. I don't want like the Sprinters, but I don't know. Whatever. Just want to give this a year. What else can I say? So I have my Max Air. I have my Wave 3 because I want to try this out for the month of February and see what my propane costs are going to be. They say that with Wave 3, she's mellower, like she doesn't consume so much propane as much as like let's say my setup now. I did try Mr. Buddy heater, and it didn't work for me. The little buddy didn't work. Maybe I need a big buddy. But no, I didn't like it. So it didn't light for me all the time. That's what it was. And this has worked really well. I can adjust it, of course. I have to say I'm very, very happy that I got the Max Air. It was $400, another $400 to install it. So it was like $800 to put this baby in the van. So I think I should wrap up by saying it's over 3 months. I'm alive. I'm okay. I'm learning. I'm gonna hook up the Wave 3 tonight. I'm waiting for the adapter to come from Amazon this evening, and I'll give a report next month, but I'll let you know what my propane costs. So of course temperature is going to have an impact on that. Don't know what the weather's going to be like, so we'll see. Alright, but so I want to end by saying van life is possible. If I'm first timer with no insulation and I'm still here chippy and clean, sort of clean, not too well shaved. If I've made it and I didn't freeze, you know, I'm okay. I'm okay. I just want to end by saying I love my van. I love Reema. Thank you, Reema, for guiding us and protecting us in California and in New York. I adore you, Reema. And for all of you who are following van life, Chrome Valdez and the other people who have seen, the 2 women of color who have their channels, and everybody who's in van life that I've seen videos on, and I've liked your videos and I've commented, thank you for showing me a few tips and tricks and giving me the courage and the inspiration to embark on this too. So my name is Soraya Sobada, the queen of healthy Latin cooking, the queen of Soraya's fierce van life, saying have a great day, stay warm wherever you are, and pursue your dreams, okay? One day at a time. Alright, take care. Bye. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Welcome to my show, honey. Welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. When you're feeling blue, you don't know what to do. Carrying such a heavy load, honey, feels like you're all alone. You need a new recipe, well, I'm the one to see. Tiny roads along you, wanna hear my song, so welcome to my show. Oh, welcome to Soraya's Kitchen. My show is so hot, honey. The vegan meat, the gluten-free, the dairy-free. Oh.
Hey, darlings. No longer